They are the biggest ideas of 2014, the merging of man and machine.
Left leg, up.
3D printing in modern medicine.
You can make a mold to make a chocolate, or you can make a mold to mold biomaterial.
Plus, changing how you live.
Would it be possible for New York City to become completely self-sufficient?
How you cook.
We're breaking new ground in the kitchen here.
And even how you shop.
Here's your 3D view of your avatar.
The biggest ideas of 2014 starts right now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Derry Alexander, and welcome to the New York Hall of Science in Corona, Queens. At Fox 5, we've been bringing you monthly stories on the impact science and technology are having on all of our lives. And tonight, we bring you the best of the Big Ideas 2014. So let's begin with Ben Simoneau, who brings us some of the most advanced medical breakthroughs happening today.
We can upload his consciousness. We can save him.
The merging of man and machine, creating a superhuman.
Your friends, they don't know the danger.
Yes, this is fiction, the Johnny Depp movie Transcendence. The mind of Depp's character is uploaded onto a computer and it spirals out of control. It's a big idea, a man backed with the power of a machine. Some call it transhumanism.
The dictionary definition of transhumanism would be the belief that we can push past the limits of human abilities.
That sounds awfully futuristic, but author, dreamer, transhumanist Ramez Nam says that future is already here.
Our age already looks very science fiction to someone born a century ago. If you use an iPhone, you're sort of a transhuman to a certain extent. You have these new abilities we didn't used to have.
But what if you can't hear or see? Let's take things a step further and go inside the body. That's where technology is leading to amazing advances.
I think the future is limitless.
Dr. Sean McMenemy is a surgeon at Manhattan's NYU Langone Medical Center who, on a regular basis, places implants in the brain. That's right, the brain.
Resistance is futile.
No, we are not the Borg, the half-human, half-robot species from Star Trek, but brain implants are, these days, normal, especially for people without a critical link like a damaged or missing nerve connecting the ear and brain.
Before the advent of the brainstem implant, there was nothing available for them. They were going to be without sound for their entire life.
As an audiologist, Dr. Bill Shapiro teaches patients how to translate electric signals sent by the implant into sounds.
So what do they hear? How quickly do they hear? It depends on the patient. It's variable. There are patients that are able to understand speech almost immediately.
Implants are limited for sure, but they give new hope.
Left leg, up.
Helping the paralyzed regain movement in Kentucky and the blind to see in Michigan. Just this January, patients there received the first U.S. implants of a bionic eye, engineered by the company Second Sight. So we're going inside the body to help people hear and see. But what about fight disease? Well, thanks to nanotechnology, that's about to happen, giving the phrase under your skin a whole new meaning.
Right here is the plaque.
Okay.
Plaque buildup.
At Columbia University Medical Center, Dr. Ira Tabus is working on a nanoparticle to slow down the buildup of plaque in arteries, which can lead to a heart attack. His nanoparticles, designed with Harvard doctor Omid Farrokhzad, are cloaked in stealth technology, bind themselves to the plaque, and deliver drugs on the spot. Nanoparticles also have huge potential in treating cancerous tumors.
You can get exactly the drug you want, exactly the place you want it.
But maybe cancer and heart disease will become a thing of the past. Technology is about to let parents combine their DNA virtually to see if a potential child is genetically likely to develop disease. Some worry it could lead to designer babies, but it excites Ramez Nam.
I'm not sure that selecting some of the genes for our children is that different than selecting what schools they go to, picking their diets, picking what books we read them.
It's all about making mankind stronger, smarter, and healthier. Who doesn't want that? Ben Simoneau, Fox 5 News.
Going green, being more environmentally friendly, is clearly one of the world's greatest challenges. Here in New York, many people are taking big steps to make life more eco-friendly in the future. But as Matt King shows us, more needs to be done.
More than half the population of New York City rides public transportation to work.
No other metropolis in this country even approaches that percentage or the MTA's total number of riders. And for that reason, New York likely ranks as the most energy efficient city in the nation.
Adjusting a single variable can have a profound effect on the environmental performance of cities.
We don't have time to recap Michael Sorkin's resume. An urbanist and an architect for 40-ish years, he runs a graduate program on urban design, and he's written a whole bunch of books. He also founded Terraform, an advocacy group seeking to answer one enormous question.
Would it be possible for New York City to become completely self-sufficient within its political boundaries?
Renderings coat the walls of Sorkin's office, illustrating Terraform's neighborhoods of the future, where inhabitants walk to work, to school, to recreation, to cultural and commercial activities, and to the vertical farms allowing them to grow everything they eat. That New York requires very little of the transportation infrastructure, which currently makes our New York so energy efficient.
And in order to make this go in terms of power, we would need to build the equivalent of about 25 nuclear power plants, on Staten Island.
Sorkin sees reality and not Never Never Land when he looks out over this cityscape. The good people of Staten Island don't want an army of nuclear reactors in their backyards, but even a scheme where New York becomes, say, 30% self-sustainable would reduce the city's current ecological footprint by a giant, unestimatable amount.
Every day we actually improve in our buildings and systems.
Michael Gubbins oversees one of just 2 Platinum LEED certified buildings in the city. The Solaire recycles 30,000 gallons of wastewater every day. Its green roofs collect stormwater and help to insulate the building, keeping it cooler or warmer depending on the season. Fruit and vegetable gardens supply residents with plenty of ammunition for their salads. Factor in central heating and twice filtered air, and the Solaire's more than 700 residents use 55% less water and pay 40% less on their energy bills than those in your average residential high-rise. And yet, even a whole city of Solaire's likely fails to meet Terraform's 30% scheme.
The technology is not rocket science.
One finds no magic in solar paneling or hydroponic agriculture. The challenge lies in creating an entire city that functions synergistically, integrating all its systems to work on demand as those in the Solaire try to.
Our clean energy solution needs to be a conglomerate of all of the technologies that we have.
Darius Salgo installed the wind turbines atop 388 Bridge Street. The energy they produce powers the lights encircling the summit of the tallest building in Brooklyn. A couple of turbines won't leave Sorkin satisfied, but perhaps represent progress, no matter how slow.
The question is, how far are you willing to go? And also, how dire is the actual emergency?
Pretty dire, if you ask Sorkin.
And if everybody on the globe were to consume at the rates that Americans or Europeans or Canadians do, we would require the surface area of 3 more planets to supply everybody on the world right now. So obviously something has to be done. It's an emergency.
And one to which Sorkin believes we already possess the remedy.
There are obviously cost factors, and there are big integration factors, and I think most importantly, there is the factor of politics and will.
As a city, we can only ride the subway so far. In New York, I'm Matt King, Fox 5 News.
Coming up, 3D printing.
It's really changing lives and saving lives.
It's the invention that's about to dramatically change the medical world. Plus, revolutionary ideas that could impact the way we cook.
We're breaking new ground in the kitchen here.
The biggest ideas of 2014. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Advancements in 3D printing are happening just about every day. Dan Bowen shows us how this new technology is revolutionizing the world of medicine.
We're on the verge of something much bigger happening.
Imagine it, design it, hold it in your hands.
We really see this as the next industrial revolution.
With 3D printers regularly available for less than $2,000, technology first introduced in the 80s is now open to a whole new market. It's creating a wave of innovation and new competition among entrepreneurs like Jerry Castaños. He just opened 3D Heights, a full-service printing lab in Morningside Heights. Among his top clients, med students at nearby Columbia University.
It gives them the capability to go from design to physical product within a day or so, compared to, several weeks.
Which brings us into the basement at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in Manhattan.
That's where biomedical engineering always is.
And that is where Dr. Paul Frisch, chief of the biomedical engineering department, keeps a pair of the shiny new microwave-sized devices tucked away in a corner. Three-dimensional printers work by turning computer models into solid reality. Think of it like a hot glue gun, spreading layers of material like plastic, metal, or even living cells over and over and over again until those layers add up to the object.
In the long term, I'll be able to build just-in-time replacement implants. I'll be able to build bone segments for various surgical procedures.
Yes, Dr. Frisch believes in the not-so-distant future, bone and body parts could be printed in the bowels of a hospital. At the moment, having the machines means places like Sloan Kettering can print and refine prototypes much faster than having to design and ship with an outside company.
On the research side, it produces results much more rapidly, and it helps me to evaluate the results much more rapidly.
3D printing and scanning prosthetics is among the most popular applications of the technology at the moment. For example, a prosthetic limb like this can be created on a printer that costs less than about $1,500 in about 24 hours or less for a cost of about $5. And what's coming next in the world of 3D printing is much more ambitious.
Schedel is van voor op maat gemaakt.
Earlier this year, for the first time ever, doctors in the Netherlands replaced most of a human skull with a custom-fit plastic 3D printed one.
People can take more risks.
Bree Pettis is CEO of Brooklyn-based MakerBot, one of the first companies to offer affordable 3D printers to the masses.
It's really changing lives and saving lives.
He says the procedure in the Netherlands provides momentum to scientists already using living cells to print organs like ears, livers, and even heart valves. Many experts believe fully functional replacement body parts could be just a decade away.
You can make a mold on your MakerBot to make a chocolate, or you can make a mold on your MakerBot to mold biomaterial to make a liver or an implant or a new knee.
A new world of possibilities that could be printing up in a basement near you. Dan Bowens, Fox 5 News.
Coming up, are you hungry?
We found, some amazing combinations.
New recipes no one ever thought of because they came from the mind of a computer.
An avatar is then created.
We're checking out the high-tech gadgetry changing the way we'll shop in the future. Next.
Welcome back. Looks yummy, huh? Employing cutting-edge technology in the world of food. Would you believe there's a supercomputer that knows how to make our mouths water? And there's even a twist that has chefs amazed. Here's Carrie Drew serving it up.
These chefs at the Institute of Culinary Education in Chelsea are cooking up something new, something different. Something revolutionary.
We're breaking new ground in the kitchen here. We are putting together ingredients and creating flavors in ways that no one has ever done before.
Chefs James Briccione and Michael Lasconis are creating a Filipino tomato salad with ingredients they've never used together.
Dried chili pepper, paprika.
The idea came from a computer.
This is Watson.
You may remember Watson from Jeopardy back in 2011.
What is pentathlon?
Yes.
The so-called supercomputer beat two former champs. Watson is powered by cognitive technology that processes information more like a human than a computer. It's doing everything from coming up with cancer treatments, or in this case, coming up with recipes.
So Florian, this is Watson.
This is it. We've gathered information about ingredients and the flavor compounds that they contain, as well as the nutrition facts. And putting all that together, we can help people discover new food pairings or new recipes that have never been seen before.
Florian Pinel is a software engineer from IBM, and he's also a trained chef. He combined his two passions to come up with a cognitive cooking project. On Jeopardy, Watson took the form of this massive system, but here, Chef Watson is on a laptop.
Well, first you're going to choose an ingredient. See, it's asking you what's your favorite ingredient.
Florian decides on a key ingredient, tomato. Then, a cuisine.
And I think today we've picked Filipino.
Next, Florian decides he wants Chef Watson to come up with a salad. He then customizes it, and when he's done, Chef Watson goes to work.
The next step is when really the magic happens and we look at all the possible combinations, the millions, billions, trillions of possible combinations for tomato salad.
Chef Watson comes up with these original recipes with the help of flavor compound algorithms, or how well the ingredients work together.
So we found some amazing combinations. We've stumbled upon some dishes that I never thought would make any sense, combining pork belly with cottage cheese and dill and cheddar cheese and green peas and sweet peppers.
There's also data on how surprising or unique the dish is and how well it tastes. And this technology is not just for skilled chefs. Soon, Chef Watson could be helping you in your own kitchen.
The idea that you can say, oh, I have this, this, and that, and I don't want to have this, give me some direction, is absolutely innovative and is absolutely not something that exists.
Stacy Rivera is the digital director for Bon Appetit. The company is currently testing a web app that's spicing things up in the food world.
This is Chef Watson with Bon Appetit.
It analyzes the roughly 9,000 recipes in the Bon Appetit database to come up with new and exciting combinations.
This is not a recipe app. Recipe apps have a finite amount of information, and this is an infinite way to play.
While Chef Watson may be the future of how recipes are created, everyone seems to agree technology can't do everything.
At the end of the day, it's still the human who tastes. It's really our creativity on display, and the computer is just helping us be creative, and I think that's always a great thing.
And by the way, as for the Filipino tomato salad, it smells delicious.
Yes.
And Chef Watson says it will taste delicious.
That's right. And if it doesn't, it's his fault, not mine.
Chef Watson can rest easy. The dish, like so many others, is a big hit. Really good. In Chelsea, Carrie Drew, Fox 5 News.
Coming up, stores going high-tech.
You'll get your 3D measurements. An avatar is then created.
We'll show you how some retailers have taken shopping to a whole new dimension and what's yet to come.
Now let's talk the changing face of retail. Technology is making it even easier to shop with touchscreens, virtual try-ons, and avatars. Allison Morris with the future of shopping.
Cutting-edge video displays, hulking screens, and high technology in stores.
Burberry, believe it or not, they've been leading this entire sector.
It's the future of shopping, but it hasn't really been happening here in the U.S.
Well, it's a big risk for a retailer. You put a lot of digital technology into your stores. You don't know if there's going to be a payback.
But that's all changing. This winter, New Yorkers will see both high-end boutiques and shopping centers go high-tech. At the Staten Island Mall, eShakti's new kiosk lets you create a virtual avatar with your exact body measurements. You can use it to shop the eShakti website for the perfect outfit without trying on a single thing.
So how it works is you come into the dressing room, undress down to your undergarments, stand still, hold the handles, wait 10 seconds, and you'll get your 3D measurements. An avatar is then created, and you step outside and you can go on the computer to shop your made-to-measure clothing.
Can you show us how the avatar works?
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
Here's your 3D view of your avatar.
Very cool.
And then come over here and you can actually see any dress or skirt or any kind of clothing you want on your made-to-measure avatar. So it's your custom measurements. You can change the hemline, you can add sleeves.
eShakti has 600 to 900 customizable skirts, dresses, and tops starting at $59. Creating an avatar is free. At her flagship store in Green Street in Soho, Rebecca Minkoff has completely overhauled her customers' experience. She partnered with eBay to use touchscreen technology throughout the store.
We looked at retail and we said, there haven't really been advances in retail since the Apple stores. And there's a new millennial shopper, and we have these beautiful iPhones and these beautiful gadgets. And what if we reimagine retail with the concept of what these phones can do front and foremost?
And they've taken away some of the painful parts of shopping.
Popping your head out of a dressing room naked, looking for an associate. That's another one of those. So I think we tried to make those painful points easier.
It all starts with a video screen at the front of the store that's part mirror, part tablet. With a tap of the screen, shoppers can browse different looks, pick clothes in their size, even order a drink.
There's a lot of technology behind this mirror here to make it work fast, to feel good to the finger and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a couple years literally in the making to do this and get it right. From the mirror, you select what goes in the dressing room, somebody will do it for you. And the dressing room knows what's in the dressing room. So then you have an additional experience on the dressing room mirror.
So the moment you bring your items into the fitting room, it magically senses the items you brought in.
and we turn the mirror itself into a touchscreen. So you can ask for any other sizes, cuts, or colors you'd like of these items right on the mirror.
Want to see how this jacket would look during a night out on the town? No problem. Just check out the Soho After Dark lighting.
And this touchscreen technology is only the beginning. Brian Sozzi believes mannequins will get major upgrades in 2015.
You'll walk past a mannequin in front of the store and they have the technology inside the mannequin's head. Believe it or not, totally creepy stuff. But the technology is there. Well, you'll get an alert on your cell phone saying there's a special promotion and they want you to come in the store.
And Sozzi says some household names, including the Gap, are testing out this new mannequin technology. No word yet if they're actually going to use it. Allison Morris, Fox 5 News.
Our thanks to the New York Hall of Science in Corona, Queens. I'm Dari Alexander. Have a great night and Happy New Year, everybody.